Morning. So I wanted to talk about s- something quite often. I say that a lot as well. Quite often. You should have like cards and bring up when I repeat the same words I use. Oh, quite often. Like that. Um, is something that yeah, quite a few of us have the ability of, and we all deserve a BAFTA and maybe even an Oscar for our ability to mirror behavior. Now, I know it's not everyone because it depends on your processing and awareness of around you, depending on how your autism affects you. But there are quite a few of us who have this ability of mirroring. And probably should go into the acting world. I've thought about it myself because the details I can notice on a person's behaviour, the words they use, and their whole stance and tone and everything, I can mirror back at them. And I have done it all my life. Well, I think probably from when my development realised that I wasn't connecting, and my own, once again, simple, was the same sorts of topics. Um, my own feelings and thoughts and things weren't being recognised by my caregivers and the people around me. I realised I was a bit of a whatever it is, I stood out. I wasn't the same. So I started to learn to mirror, which I didn't know I was doing until a few years back, until I was diagnosed, and then started to delve a bit into what I was, and who I was. And then I didn't really know because I mirror, and I still mirror. I know I still do it. Um, I don't like to upset people's feelings, which is also not really sometimes a good thing, because it's not being true to myself in some ways. Although, I think we end up being a bit of a contradiction because we do the mirroring, and then there's a point where we're like, oh, okay, let it all hang out, and just like, and the people will know. Ah, which is funny, isn't it? So mirroring. Do you know what mirroring is? I don't know if you knew that about us. So the mirroring is when you are reflecting the same way that someone is talking to you, the same body language. So even now, right, I just messaged a friend, and I will talk to that friend the same as she messages me in the same, and it's really hard to break out of it when you've been doing it all your life. But I am aware of it now, and before I felt a bit confused and lost, but now I see what it is, and I'm not afraid of it. I'm just like, okay. So I'm it's a talent actually, and I'm sure, like I said, could actually be put to good use. These are a lot of gifts and talents we've got we don't realise, because some people have gone into the world and they don't even pay attention to how the tone is of someone's voice. Even the tone, I don't know if you've noticed, but tone in text. I notice tone even in text, which, as you know, can be misconstrued. But quite often, a friend of mine has, quite often again, da-da, a friend of mine has messaged, and I know she's down. So just by the lack of words or the use of words or anybody I talk to, these are gifts, by the way. They're a bit of a pain when you're younger and confused and a bit lost and isolated. Um, and still a bit, like that, but these are actually gifts. Not an ability to be able to do that. So I messaged her and I says, yeah, but yeah, I am. She goes, you're very perceptive. Just because I pay attention because I'm a mirrorer. So I will notice when somebody's not the same as they were before because I'll notice those changes very fast. Um, so mirroring. So yeah, you do it. So if you looked at the text I sent to three different types of groups of friends, so I'm going with text now, right? You'll notice a different pattern I've used for each one of those. There is a different pattern. It's not the same responses. Now I know you all don't do that because, and this is what I admire and love about some autistic traits, is the fact that you are yourself wherever you go. Boom, and that is fantastic, and I love people like that. But I also have my mind, which is an open one in the way that I will just accept people, and I think it's the right thing to do as they are. So I can't seem to sometimes do with myself, because I wouldn't be mirroring, would I? So there's still that fear of rejection there, and that fear of those other things, why I keep mirroring. So, but I do, I think it is just something I like to do. I think it's not just one reason I do it. I think the reason I do it is because I care. I care about those people. I think that's why it is. And I feel a warmth when I reflect them back to them. Um, you know, and I like to make them feel it's like a hug in a reflection. I enjoy doing that. I mean, people in society actually use that as manipulation, reflecting and mirroring, and they will teach you it in business courses as as a way of. And you'll notice if ever a salesperson comes along, they will reflect you. You might not notice that, but a good salesperson probably will reflect you to that gets them into the trust zone, and that gets them into the sales zone, where you might trust their word on something's a good product, and then da da, and that is all part of a sales technique. I actually don't like it at all, because I don't like forms of manipulation. I'm quite strict and rigid in my mind about manipulation, and before I did a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking and reflecting on myself, I used to be quite good at manipulating because of my abilities as a reflector and a mirror. And I didn't know I was doing it though. It wasn't until I became aware a few years back when I started to discover myself that I realised, oh, okay, I'm actually doing that, and I don't like anything. What quite often, how many times have I said it in this video? Um, I I like organic, and you'll find that autistics mostly like organic things that are naturally happening, not forced. So I think there's the beauty of organic in every area of my life. I would like it to happen naturally, not because I've made it happen, because it's meant to be sort of thing. So, yeah, I thought I'd talk about mirroring and reflecting because it's an amazing topic and is something we can use because it's a gift. We'd probably make good salespeople if we could do the communication thing. All right.